My son accidentally got ketchup all over himself, so he asked me to delete the recording, but I accidentally pressed the rewind button. In an instant, everything around us started moving backward. Time had somehow returned to the moment my son picked up the ketchup. I hurriedly tried to explain what happened, but judging by the confused look on his face, I wondered if it had all been my imagination. Then a police officer nearby suddenly noticed us. A feeling of unease crept over me. Soon after, we left the restaurant, but on the highway, a police car began following us. My son quickly pulled over. When he rolled down the window, we saw it was the same officer from the restaurant. The officer immediately asked if there were any weapons in the car. I quickly said no, but when he spotted the camcorder, he demanded to know if we had been filming. Then he reached in to grab it. During the struggle, I accidentally pressed the rewind button. Time reversed once again. We were back in the restaurant, and the same officer was still eating nearby. I immediately urged my son to leave. This time, I decided to drive. We even took a different route. Thinking we had finally escaped him, we checked into a motel, but not long after arriving, someone knocked on the door. Standing outside was the same officer again. He claimed we had been making too much noise and demanded our identification. My son felt insulted and refused to hand it over, but the officer suddenly tried to take it by force. My son stepped in to stop him. At that moment, the officer drew his gun. I immediately hit the rewind button. Everything reset once more. We were back in the restaurant again. Looking at the officer nearby, I felt completely hopeless. We seemed trapped in a nightmare loop. No matter what we did, we couldn't escape him. I decided to try something different. I greeted the officer warmly. I even thanked him for his service, hoping to leave a good impression. The compliment made him smile. As we talked, he seemed friendly and relaxed. Just as I began to feel relieved and prepared to leave, the officer suddenly stopped us. He claimed the car outside wasn't ours. I kept explaining, but he remained aggressive. My son quickly went to the car to get the proof of purchase, but the moment he pulled it out, the officer opened fire. I stared in disbelief. The camcorder fell to the ground, and my son collapsed in a pool of blood. Outside the morgue, I couldn't accept what had happened. A doctor tried to comfort me, but all I asked was for him to retrieve the camcorder. Though confused, he agreed. I stood before my son's body, praying the camcorder still worked. It was my only hope. With trembling